I got a donation by Sal from DK. So, but I don't know if that person maybe is trying to write to me with a request. And I'm not getting it because my email that I put on that video where I say you can make donation, I get so much spam, so almost everything goes to my spam folder because I set it on a very high filter. So I'm sorry if somebody is DK, if you're listening to this. I'm sorry if you're sending a request. Maybe Instagram is a better way to reach me. I don't get spam in my Instagram. So my Instagram, you can send it to, I'll link it here below. So if you want to write to me, if you have an Instagram with a request, I think I'll put that on that video, my Instagram. So sorry if you made a request. I just am doing this video, soft-spoken. But I'll do a request if you send me a request. It doesn't matter what you say, it's your voice, that's all. But I understand that, and that's for some of you. You don't care what I say, but some of you, want to have something interesting to listen to. It doesn't have to be just me saying whatever. But so I try to, I usually try to give words of wisdom. It's like the only thing I can think of that I have to offer that's, it's life experience basically that I could talk about. But yeah, I don't plan the topics. I kind of just get into them and then they go all over the place. But or sometimes I start rambling. Maybe I'll do a ramble about what it's like to be a rambler. Sometimes I'll be rambling, whatever, but then I will get into a topic, and like a chunk of it, like when I listen back on it, I have to stay soft-spoken. When I listen back on it, I say, oh, well, that chunk was actually pretty good. So sometimes I haven't done it recently. I've been really lazy about editing. But sometimes I'll take out that chunk and just upload that chunk of whatever I rambled about. And I have a lot of footage that I think I'll just delete at some point. I mean, a lot of footage of rambling, or even videos and it's not of me necessarily. I have footage from Argentina, like four trips. I took so much footage, and I kept, when I was planning to do the Argentine tours, which, of course, that's another idea that I just had and I just didn't do. Because I am lazy about acting upon my ideas. I have great ideas that I just don't do anything with. So, which is a lot of people. A lot of people have great ideas, but the one who gets anything out of it, are the ones who actually take action. Like, people who have these great ideas and then say, oh, that person stole my idea. Well, first of all, unless you told the person your idea, they didn't steal it. They had the same idea and they actually did it. So that's the difference. But even if someone stole your idea, in quotes, if you didn't do anything with it, so that's why I say I have all these ideas and plans, and if I don't do it, I hope some of you steal the idea. Steal, in quotes. It's not stealing. It's an idea that hopefully someone will do. Any ideas you may have heard in the past, just do them if you think, that you have the staying power that I don't have. Because I definitely, at this point, I can't even fake it anymore. I don't have the staying power. I have great ideas that I know I could be successful at if I did something with them. But anyway, a lot of people do that. So, don't complain if someone else stole your idea. I mean, I guess that's the topic I'll talk about. Because there's a young gentleman, a homeless guy that's not so young anymore. He'll be 31 this year. I met him when he was like 23. He was, panhandling. And, so he talks a lot, about these ideas. First of all, some of his ideas are not very good, because I tell him, I think he's mentally ill. I know he's mentally ill. He doesn't appear to be. You look at him and he just looks like a normal kid. I mean, sometimes he's a little dirty because he hasn't showered or whatever. I haven't seen him in a couple of months, but, he can get showers. There are places for the homeless to get showers. But no, he gets depressed, I guess, and, and I'm not one, I've had my issues as well, so I'm not going to judge him. He's had worse than me, obviously. But, so I really can't help him anymore. I don't give him money anymore. I used to hand up $20, $10 now and then, take him to lunch. But then I even told him, I said, look, this isn't helping you. Sure, it gives you $20 for a short period. You get a drink or something to eat, but it's not helping you, I said, because it's not getting you off the street. You need longer-term goals, which I know he's been to treatment and they've spoken to him about long-term goals. Which, again, listen to me talking and I don't have them either. So the only difference between he and I is that I have a family who gives me a roof and he doesn't. So, I'm no different than he is. Maybe that's why I kind of help him, or, but, I mean, I'm working now. I'm temping. I have a great temp job. I really like it. It's not paying very well, though. But I don't know. I'm not ready for permanency yet in work. And who knows? If I wasn't so safe, in quotes, maybe I would force myself to stay in jobs. I obviously have a problem with commitment in all senses, with work, with relationships. I complain a lot. Oh, so and so, this man, whatever, hurt my feeling. But I've had relationships that would be good if I would have stuck with them. Maybe it wasn't the man of my dreams, but I've kind of messed up too, and there were at least 2 relationships in my life that I ended because, I wasn't fulfilled and I didn't feel I'm not saying it's right or wrong to leave someone if you don't feel I wanted the storybook happy ending, and relationships are not storybook usually. It's the companionship that's important, which as you get older, you start to value more. But, at this age, unless, I really need to give up on the butterflies stuff. I'm not wanting to let go of that. I'm wanting the butterflies in the stomach and the excitement stuff. And, I'm sorry, ladies. I talk to ladies because that's who I identify with most. The young ladies. It's not that. You have to give up on the butterflies part. At first, it's great, and when you're young especially, and all that. But that's not what the relationship is going to be. It's going to be boring. Sometimes you'll look at your partner and you'll be the person you chose, and especially those of you with their head in the clouds, that the Cinderella story people, and some of you have it clear. Maybe you had good role models. I love my parents and they were good parents, but I don't think my mother was ever very realistic, and she perhaps was disappointed because she wanted the butterflies for the rest of her life, but she's still with my father, so obviously she values him enough in other ways. The companionship especially now that they're very old. They're in their 80s. But I'm not going to be able to experience that. But, I've had it a little bit for 4 years. I was with my last boyfriend, and it was a good relationship. It was just, it got boring. That's all. I had really no, in every sense, he was a perfect boyfriend. He was kind, he was generous, he was supportive, everything. It was just boring. I was just bored, basically. And COVID didn't help. I did go a little cuckoo over COVID. But, I guess I'm just not meant to be, as much as I talk about it, I'm just not meant to be in a relationship, I guess. And I'm not sad about it. I'm not sad about it. I'm just being realistic. But this relationship before the last one, I keep talking about it because it messed me up so much. And that was the butterflies and the excitement, and that man never committed to me, so perhaps that's why it was always so exciting. Perhaps if he would have committed and he would have wanted to, make it official and all that, maybe then I wouldn't have wanted him anymore. Who knows? I'll never know. But oh, I was so in love. I think if I know what love is. Anyway. So that kind of messed me up, and then I did get into the relationship, with my last boyfriend, who was completely different. He was there, he was committed, and it was exciting at first, a little bit, not as exciting as it was with the one that destroyed me, of course. But I don't know. And then COVID came, and that messed the rest of it up. But it was me. I was the one who in quotes messed it up. And now I have kind of I've been kind of like wanting to go back because I miss the companionship so much. We had a great companionship relationship, and we're still excellent friends. I haven't lost that. But if he ever gets into a relationship with someone else, because now I can call him up and talk because I'm whatever, want to talk to someone, or we can text and stuff. But if he does get into a relationship with someone else, I've obviously, maybe I could still do that to some extent, but it won't be the same. And, well, that's that. But I am going to go visit him, but we've been talking, and he basically says, we're good friends, and I'm here for you, but, I'm kind of content, having my own space again, and, so that's fine. I understand. He didn't do anything wrong. And I don't want to say it hurts. It doesn't hurt, but, because, we weren't together, but, I guess I'm selfish. I just want him to be there for me if I want him, whenever I want him to be there, but I don't want him to be with anyone else. So, whatever. I understand what I'm doing. I know myself, so. But anyway, I have to just try to get back on my feet. I'm working again, and just try to find fulfillment somehow. I don't know. My godson, I really love my godson. He and his grandmother, we go out every once in a while. Every few weekends we go out on a Saturday and do something, and I enjoy that. That's fun. He has fun, and then but obviously to do that I have to work so that I can have money to take him out. So that's a little bit inspiring to me. And that's about it. And my dog hates me. Oh, you guys, it hurts so much. My dog hates me. She loves my parents now. I go near her, she attacks me. And I know why. It's because I've been fighting with my parents, and my voice gets raised, and she's a very sensitive little puppy. She has a neurological disorder. So when I get loud, it's hard, and now I'm soft spoken doing this thing, but when I get loud, I get loud, and I'm and when I'm arguing and fighting, I scream, and the poor dog is terrified. And I go near her, and I don't do that to her. I'm not that way with her. But she's seen me do it you know, with my family. My brother's here. I fought with him. So the dog hates me. So anyway, she's not with me right now. She's over with my parents. The only dog that loved me so much was my little Mexican hairless. He loved me. I was his world. And okay, it's not fair to expect every dog to think of me that way. I would fight and yell with other people, and he was, wouldn't get involved. I would, but he loved me. But, this little girl likes quieter people, and that little dog was mean. The Mexican hairless, he was very affectionate, but with me and with the people he knew, and with people he didn't know, he would sometimes attack them, or attack them, like not biting, attacking, but like scaring them by attacking their feet. there was I'm laughing because he never hurt anyone, but there was a young kid that when I was married, I had my Mexican hairless, and whenever that kid came over, like, he wouldn't do it to all of them, but for some reason, and it was a nice kid, he was a nice boy. I don't know why the dog couldn't stand him. So I'm laughing because it's funny. This is years later, he'd come in, and have you ever seen, like, in the old westerns, dance, and they would shoot at the people's feet, not in funny one, it's not funny to do that, but, and then or maybe it's in cartoons, and so that's how the kid would come in. The dog would go for his feet, like barking at him, but not biting him, but like barking at his feet like he was gonna rip him to shreds. And the kid would be jumping up and down like he was dancing. And I would scold the dog, but I'd be laughing at the same time, and I would pick the dog up, and of course I wouldn't allow it, but it was funny. I'm sorry. But anyway, that dog loved me. That dog just loved me. And my dog now is so cute. And, I'm getting tired, but she just doesn't like me. But that's the reason. It's because I yell and scream. But the other part is she's gotten very food aggressive, and she wasn't like that before either. So, I think her neurological disorder she's not going to be a normal dog ever, which I knew when I adopted her. But I at least thought she'd be sweet to me. I didn't expect the mean part. I just saw her flopping around. But, when you adopt a sick dog, you don't know what to expect, especially a neurological disorder, which my Mexican hairless had. He had epilepsy. This dog reminds me, they say it's hydrocephaly, what my current dog has, but some of the stuff she does reminds me slightly of my epileptic dog. I've had two, actually, epileptic dogs. I was rescuing dogs off the street, so one of the dogs I rescued turned out to have epilepsy. So this dog is much milder, but some of the stuff, and I'm sure there's a link, it is a brain, pressure on the brain, which causes hydrocephaly. But, no matter how much she dislikes me, when I adopt a dog, it's for life. Or if her condition gets so bad that she can't enjoy life, then, of course, at that point, I'll consider, putting her to sleep. I don't like to even say it, but no, she still enjoys life. She just hates me, but she She hops around when she sees children. I need to take her out and see to parks and stuff more. She has so much fun with children. She loves little kids when there's no food around. If there's food around, she's dangerous. But when I take her to the dog park, she gets excited about the children. She's not interested in the other dogs that much. She played. One time I took her, I did a video. It was really cute. She played with the other dogs a little bit, but only, a little bit. And then, but she sees children. She starts hopping and trying to run, and she gets happy. And so I guess, to give her quality of life, I need to take her out more to see children. And I did take her two times ago that I went out with my godson. We went to a park, and I took her to the park. Dogs are allowed at that park. It's a children's park, and you can take your dogs, but of course, you have to clean up after the dog. You have to. But, and people have their dogs on the leashes, but I did not have her on a leash because she can't even walk on a leash. She flops over and falls, and she can't really get away from me. She can run short distances, like for a little bit. She can't really get away. Although I do have to be careful by the street because she can't run very far or very fast, but she can. She can hop fast for a short period. So, I should be careful by the street. I sometimes take her on the sidewalk. I mean, I'm next to her, but even so. It just dawned on me. Oh, this ramble is all over the place, and now I'm falling asleep, so I don't know how good this one's gonna be. I don't want to always talk about relationships, though. It's just that I've had so many failed ones that it's like it obsesses me. And then when I'm in them, I can't keep them together, so I don't know what I want anymore. I don't know what I want. I don't get along with women very well. I can take them in small doses. In general, women, people may call me sexist, but women can be kind of bees, And I can be too, but I usually am not with women. Lately, I have been online. I have been a bee with some women because I got tired of being judged for not following along with whatever beliefs I'm supposed to be following along with just because now that's what the feminists say we have to do. I don't agree with it, a lot of the stuff anymore. It's you're allowed to, if you're supposed to be an empowered woman, you're allowed to have an opinion as an empowered woman that's different from the feminists. So I don't get along with women, generally. More so with women who allow me to have an opinion, But, they're supposed to, never mind. And I'm talking women my age, younger women, I can, even if you're super hyper feminist, I can accept it because you're young and you'll see. Now at this age, you'll believe one way. In 10, 20 years, you'll actually realize that some of the things you think today aren't necessarily, I don't want to say right or wrong, but you might see things from a different perspective in 20 years. And you'll realize, yeah, of course women are, independent and we have equality and all that. Of course I agree with that. But some of the stuff is just not realistic. Ignoring the biology of the sexes is not realistic. Generally, with exceptions always, generally women think one way and generally men think another way. Even gay men. Gay men think like men. They may be more effeminate in their mannerisms, but the way they think is like men. And transgender, okay, maybe I don't know much about what transgender people think, but I'm sure it's hard in this society for them, but they still have biology behind them. which you can change with the hormone therapy and all that they're doing. But I'm even thinking a lot of people are detransitioning now. As valid as it is to be transgender, I do talk a lot about transgender because I'm trying to learn. I don't judge, but I think you shouldn't jump into transgenderism just because there are true transgenders, and there are a lot of people that are on this bandwagon fad. So it makes it harder for the true transgender people, the very few that exist, because it's a very small number of the population, which now they're saying is more, but it's not. It's not. It's a very rare situation where people are transgender. And somehow it's become like a fad. And I don't know. Transitioning just because on demand. No. There are a lot of people regretting it too. And they've already done the deed. The operations and everything. A lot of them are saying, actually, I was just a really, I've heard it more from the trans men that I've seen online. I don't know very many personally. I actually have met two in person in my life. But I hope this is getting my voice. The trans men that I've seen online seem more reasonable than some of the trans women. You see, and the trans men are biologically female, and they're making more sense to me than the trans men who are biologically male. So it's the opposite now. Now I don't know any trans men, but I'm understanding the trans men and what they're talking about. They're just more, I don't know, they're just more reasonable. So I guess they are men, because I tend to understand in some ways, not in the biological sense where, they could just, for example, men, generally, biological men, generally can sleep with one woman one day, sleep with another one the next day, sleep with another, and they don't have any feelings for them. It's just a deed, and I could never understand that. Like, how can you, they will sleep with women that repulse them, and they'll still do it just because the drive to do that is so strong. I just don't understand. I know it's true because it's been said, and men say it, and they explain it to me. I've had friends explain it to me, like male friends that who would even, I just can't understand that part. I know it's true, but I just don't understand how that dynamic works. Like, how can you sleep with a woman that repulses you? I just don't do it. She whereas, I have to be attracted to the person. I'm not saying I have to be at this age in love. Although at this age now, after these past few, I would have to be in love, and that's not likely to happen. So anyway, TMI here, but getting back to, but the trans men that I'm listening to online are making more sense to me. And even some of the trans men that detransitioned back to women make a little more sense to me. Although they realized that they were mistaken. They were just very hardcore lesbians. They realized afterwards that they weren't men. But I guess there's a spectrum, and you just get closer and closer to man, and then you might be at a point where you're not sure, and I don't know. But I just don't think they should make it so easy to transition, like on demand, especially I'd say under 30, like 30 and up, okay, but especially today, kids are so immature up until like age 30. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. I see my nieces, and they're only just now, and they're getting near 30. They're only just now starting to sound like they've got like a brain in their head. They're smart in as far as intelligence, but they're just, it's just they've been fed unrealistic things about being women. They're both, I have two nieces. Biology doesn't change. You can, get the operations and take the hormones and all that, but biology doesn't change. If you're a heterosexual cisgender woman or a heterosexual cisgender man, it is what it is. Now, if you're in between or you're gay or all that, okay, I'll leave that out of it. But if most of us are heterosexual cisgender people, biology is what it is. Men want one thing and think a certain way and a little more matter of fact about things, and women are more like they fall in love and they want to have the feelings with. And the one thing I will say, and it's kind of hard for me because it never happened to me, but when a man falls in love, when he does, on the rare occasion that he will, usually once or twice in his life, it's really love. It's love. It's no longer about the sex. It's no longer about, it. But that's when it happens. And it takes them a long time to fall in love. They might tell you they love you early on, but a young guy might do it. You shouldn't, guys. If you don't love a girl, don't tell her you do. It's really painful. It's a way to get sex, ladies, sometimes. But guys, don't do that. If you have even a millimeter of soul, of feelings, of don't tell a woman you love her if you don't. It's and you know what? And even if you don't tell her, just leave her alone. If you don't love her, just leave her alone. Because the men will say, well, I was honest with her. I told her I wasn't into it. I told her it was just. But telling a woman to her ear and telling her heart are two different things. You can tell a woman as honestly as, look, I'm just in it for the sex. I want nothing out of this connection. Because you might be calling her every day. And, maybe go out, get a bite to eat. And, but she's not believing you in her heart. Because you're calling her every day. You're sleeping with her. She may even tell you, guys, that's the other thing. Guys don't understand women. Well, I told her and she said it was okay. I don't know. Women will even say, yes, it's okay. I understand. Hoping that you'll change your mind and just buying time. So it's a whole thing, And I even did it with this last, guy, not the last guy, the guy before the last. That's what I was doing. He told me, but see, I should have known better at my age, but I'm just saying, even if a woman my age is still doing that, and I should know better, imagine a 20-something, or, a college age. So it's hard when you're young, but, well, girls, I guess you'll go through it, but just know you're not alone if that has happened to you. It is what it is. I have nothing to make you feel better. You just have to suffer through it, and hopefully you get over it quicker than I do. But and before, like when I was young, no, but it's taken me just as long now to get over it and this time it's hard for me to get over only because I know it was the last time it's ever going to happen to me. So as much as it hurts when it's over, I did enjoy the time with that gentleman. I had the butterflies, and I was excited. Oh, he called me again and we're going out again. And even though he was always very honest but, I guess, yeah, I did the same thing to myself as women do. Just, oh, he's just saying that, but he really, and even while I was doing it, I knew that I was doing it. There's no excuse for me to be hurt. I think what hurt, though, it's all that, fine, was that he finally did find someone and stayed with one person. And it was after I was with my last boyfriend, but I'd never gotten over the other one. I just finally decided I'm just hurting myself. But so, and she was a lot younger. She is a lot younger. I don't know if they're still together anymore. I mean, it's been a couple years now, but I believe they're probably still together. And yeah, I can't get over it. I can't. I will have to. I mean, I have no choice, but it's just something in me died forever. Because I guess just the fact that he went with someone so much younger, and that she's committed to him too. It may be because he's older, he's financially stable, all that stuff, which I already knew, you know. But I just don't want to accept it. But I don't. There's no way to resolve this for me. I've been on medication and all that, it's depression medication, and it didn't help. I was still depressed. I stopped taking it. I mean, I know myself. I'm not going to hurt myself or anything like that. But I just have to, work. I'm working, and that's helping. Getting back to work. I hear a noise out there. Oh, darn. I'm going to hang up, guys. My parents, I say hang up like I'm talking on the phone. My parents' house, the air conditioning just came on. So you can hear it now. So it's not going to be ASMR anymore, if it even was. You know what? I'm just going to upload this thing. You wants to listen, you can listen. If it's boring, you don't have to listen. Okay, bye, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.